Hi, this is Eric Metcalf, and you're watching Unhappy Hour.
Broadcasting to you live from the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, California, Los Angeles to be specific. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Unhappy Hour. This is an episode of Strictly Browns, powered by the Unhappy Hour Sports Show. My name is Brian Engelman. I'm your host, as I have been for the past 7 years. And the Cleveland Browns snatched defeat from the jaws of victory yet again. In this, the second game of the 2018 season, losing to the New Orleans Saints on the road, 21-18. Browns kicker Zane Gonzalez is probably rightfully going to take a lot of blame in this loss. There's plenty of issues to go around. You had some questionable play calling. I mean, the Browns had it to punch in, settled for a field goal instead of getting a touchdown early in the game, and it came back to bite us. The Browns by quarter scored 3 points in the first, 3 points in the second, 6 points in the third, 6 points in the fourth. 6 and 6, those are touchdowns. Those are 2 missed extra points. This game was a 3-point game. We missed 2 field goals from Browns kicker Zane Gonzalez, as Darren Campo in the Unhappy Hour Facebook group said. By the way, if you're watching on this camera, you should sign up for our show. It's the Unhappy Hour Sports Show, a support group. And that's over in Facebook. And then also Strictly Browns, powered by the Unhappy Hour Sports Show. But yeah, Darren called him Zane Gonzalez. 2 for 4, missed 2 field goals, missed 2 extra points. And I think it's time that we trade Josh Gordon for a kicker. Trade me a kicker. That's actually one of the names in one of my fantasy football leagues is Trade Me a Kicker. Because a lot of times in fantasy football, it's the least relevant position. It's the least skillful position. Who cares? You just pick somebody up and you pick the next guy up. They're interchangeable. Well, they're not interchangeable today with the Cleveland Browns. It cost us dearly, leaving 8 points on the board. 8 points on the board. Losing in a 3-point game. Just brutal. And missing a 2-point conversion. 10 points on the board. The Cleveland Browns, inventing new ways to lose football games since 1946. We're 0-1-1. This is a team that theoretically could be 2-0. And I'm reminded of the GV artwork T-shirt design that says we almost always almost win. And that is exactly what this feels like. We almost always almost win. I mean, we had a bad punt in this game. Not a ton from our kick return team. Ogunjobi had a 3rd sack called back. That was a really damaging play. I believe that was in the 3rd quarter, toward the end of the game. Damaging. Sacked him. We were going to get the ball, and instead they called a pass interference play, or illegal contact. I forget exactly what it was. It was pretty brutal. And it came back to bite us because Ogunjobi looked really good. Ogunjobi looked like a wood chipper in the middle of that defensive line. He is swatting and swimming and clawing and gouging and fighting right up through the middle. And if you can put pressure on an offensive line like that right up the middle, you're going to stand to win a lot of games in the NFL, especially when you got Myles Garrett on the outside, collapsing that in. But on that 2-point conversion by the New Orleans Saints, by the way, who in the hell had outside containment? Nobody is the answer. Nobody had outside containment on the New Orleans 2-point conversion. Try at the end of the game or, in the 4th quarter. When I played football, I played right defensive end. That meant that I went up against the left tackle all game long. And the left tackle is called, that's the blind side. That's that movie with Sandra Bullock, guy on the Ravens, I guess. So you put your best offensive tackle, like Joe Thomas, on the left-hand side of your offensive line. So I had to play the best people every single week when I played. Back in high school, undefeated football team. I took a lot of lessons out of that. We were very well coached. We had an excellent team. But my job, on almost every single play was clear. As defensive end, I was not allowed to let anything get in between me and the sideline. Nothing. I was responsible for all of this area. Everything from me to the outside of to the chalk. And I watch some of the angles that these players take. It almost like they're expecting somebody else to be on the outside to watch the outside. It's like if you're the last person, your only job is to string them to the sideline and hope that help comes behind you. Our players go toward them and miss, so the offensive player can get around them and tightrope it down the sidelines. It's brutal. That's bad coaching. I don't know how you're losing track of what your task responsibilities are on a per play basis. And look, when I play defensive end, my linebacker would come up behind me and he would hit me at. We worked this out because we were given leeway and latitude to make some calls on our own because we were really good. And so he would tap my right hip if he wanted me to go in on a dart. So it was dart in and it was X out. So if we wanted to dart in, and that could be called in the huddle as well. If I'm darting in, I know that his job is to now take my job and have between himself and the out of bounds line. Somebody always has outside containment, outside contain, outside contain, outside containment. It wasn't there on the 2-point conversion. Now, obviously, we all want to talk about the kicker. That's a funnier. It's going to make for funnier memes. It's an easier thing, but there's little things. There's little problems with this team that you have to pick out. At halftime, I was talking about Tyrod Taylor. His basement, his floor is a lot higher because he's careful, but his ceiling is a lot lower because he's too careful. Well, that's what you think you're getting, but that turnover, that interception from Tyrod Taylor was brutal. That was just brutal. And then he airmailed it, in the fourth quarter when it was really counting. I understand what we think we're getting out of Tyrod Taylor, but these are two games. These are two games. Can I say that we would have won? I mean, I could say that, but it would be a little disingenuous. It would be a little silly. It would be a little irresponsible, probably. Would we have won the game? I don't know if we would have won the game, but we could have won the game with Baker Mayfield. We're not getting great quarterback play. I mean, Carlos Hyde got us 43 yards and a touchdown on 16 carries. I mean, Callaway had that big play. I mean, he seems to be really good catching it on slant routes, crossing routes. I mean, Landry, only 5 of 69. No touchdowns. Njoku, another drop. Dude, you're 6'15" tall. You're a huge dude. You're supposed to be this athletic freak, this gifted player from Miami, this young guy. Catch the ball. Was it Higgins? I saw Higgins drop one too. I mean, there's a lot to clean up here. Now, obviously, let's turn around. We can talk about the New Orleans Saints. This is a very different team from the Super Bowl winning team from a few years ago, obviously. But you still have Sean Payton. You still have Drew Brees. You still have some of the core components there. And let's just say Michael Thomas, another beast of a game, 12 receptions, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns on 13 targets. I mean, that's fantastic. That's a great day from him. Ted Ginn really hurt us with that late catch. And then, rushing the ball. We only gave up 46 yards rushing to Kamara. I mean, toward the end of the game, it felt like every run he was getting was 10 yards, but his long was 18. Gillislee had a couple, but not really. 8 rushes, 18 yards. I mean, our defense did pretty well. Did pretty well containing him. No interceptions from the Browns defense, unfortunately. Breeze 28 of 35 for 243 and 2 touchdowns. So there's a lot to take away from this game. I mean, you can say that early in the game when we had the ball down in the Saints territory, that wasn't a time to kick a field goal. Go for it, punch it in. And when you lose a game by 3 points, that 4-point swing makes all the difference in the world. Sometimes there's a line in The Simpsons Well, I believe it's the one where Lisa goes vegetarian or she goes vegan or whatever. One of the Beatles is in that episode, Napu or something. And they start... maybe it's the one where Homer's having his barbecue, the BBBQ. The extra B is a typo. But they start doing a song. It says, you don't win friends with salad. 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 You don't win football games with field goals. You can sure lose football games with field goals, but you're not going to win football games with field goals. Field goals are that consolation prize that keeps you behind. You know, that early drive could have been a 4-point swing right there, and we could have survived 2 Zane Gonzalez missed field goals and 2 Zane Gonzalez missed extra points. It was a 3-point game. If we'd have got 7 on that early drive instead of 3, that's 4 points. We win the game. So look, there's plenty of blame to go around, obviously. I want you all to chime in. On what you think about Zane Gonzalez. I mean, I think it should be obvious that we should just go ahead and pick up Dan Bailey and cut Zane Gonzalez. I got no love for that kid at all. And by the way, on the Facebook group, sorry, like now your comments are starting to show up. They were all hidden for a minute. So hello to everybody. Geez, it looks like there's 75 people watching. It's only showing me 3, so whatever. Glitchy Facebook as usual. Hey Brandon, hey Adam, hey Bobby, hey Mike, hey Aaron. Aaron's asking what's going on with the Buccaneers. Hey, I don't know, but I drafted that Ronald Jones running back on the Buccaneers, and he's been deactivated for 2 straight games. Jameis Winston and his silly, immature / predatory antics, he's not playing. You know, sometimes you can remove the cancer from the team and your team gets better. I don't know. I don't know if that's what's happening with the Buccaneers. But it's worth thinking about. I mean, we're allegedly going to move on from Josh Gordon because he didn't seem like himself and he was late. Did he get high? Did he get high? Da, 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 da. I don't know. What does he wasn't himself? He was late. Yep. I don't know. But we're allegedly going to move along from Josh Gordon. Has he been a cancer on this team along with Johnny Manziel? Maybe. You know, and maybe you need to cut that to get better. You know, I do a lot of gardening. And you can prune. You know, sometimes when a plant's not doing well, sometimes all you got to do is cut off the dead stuff and it'll burst back forth with life, with vibrancy. Maybe that's what's happening down there in Tampa Bay. I don't know. They beat the defending champs, so it's worth watching. Good question, though, Aaron. Aaron, what was it like? What was your impression of the game? Tell us what you thought. Actually, do they still have this thing where you can bring people on live? I don't know if you can do that. What's up, Adam Myers? Mike Lococo, what's up, buddy? Saying you should see the Vikings kicker. Why? What did I miss? Sorry, I'm not... Oh, you have another tie. Minnesota, Green Bay tied 29-29. There should not be ties in professional football. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. There should not be a tie in a major professional sport. You should have extra kicks. You should have punt, pass, and kick challenges. Do something. Thumb wrestle. Rock, paper, scissors. I don't care. There should not be ties. Why should I see the Vikings kicker? What do you do? Do I have to click on this to see the box score? All right, Kirk Cousins, Thielen, how'd they do? Diggs, yeah, I'm glad I drafted him. 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. Oh, jeez. Carlson, 0 for 3. At least you made all your, at least the Vikings made all their extra points, Mike. So what can I say? Hi, Bobby Hall. What's up, Don Szymanski? Trade Gordon for Gostkowski. I can't think of a reason why I wouldn't do that. What's up, Christy Howard? What's up, Patrick Zupancic? What's up, Tim Sabula? Aaron? What's up, Doug? What's up, Keith? Yes, Doug, he had one job to make the kicks. Laces out. Laces out. I don't know what to tell you. Hi, Tiffany Singleton. How are you? Okay, yeah, the Vikings rookie kicker missed 3 field goals, including 2 in overtime. Oh yeah, I was not watching that one in real time. Oh, that's brutal. That is brutal, folks. Well, look, I don't know how much more I want to say about this game. I can say that we're competitive. We are competitive, and that makes me happy. When's the last time the Cleveland Browns have legitimately been competitive? Fine, we almost always almost win. I know. But for real, when's the last time we were really competitive? So it's not all doom and gloom when it comes to the Cleveland Browns. There are at least some good things going on with the Cleveland Browns right now. Now it's just a matter of putting them all together and making them consistent, making it happen, pulling out a win. Jeez, I was really excited to get that first win today, get that monkey off the back. It would have felt great, but you know what? It wasn't our time. I don't know what to say. We're 0-1-1. We're not in horrible shape in our division, by the way. We played the Steelers to a standstill. So, the Browns do have some stuff going for them, but I think they got to get some of this chemistry stuff hammered out. I mean, Josh Gordon wasn't around for all the offseason. Now he's getting cut or traded or some silly stuff. I mean, by the way, speaking of the Browns front office, in Dorsey and everybody, why would you announce that you're going to cut a player and then come back and say that you're going to try to trade him? It's like when you're sitting around and you go out to eat and everybody gets their plate and they take a bite and they go, oh, and they reach out and they hand it to you. They go, this is horrible. Try some. And you're like, I'm good. I got it. It's horrible. Once you tell us you're going to drop a player, you're going to cut a player, you're moving ways, you're parting ways from Josh Gordon, you were let down by Josh Gordon. Oh, by the way, anyone wants to give us some draft picks for him? Dude, have these guys played poker a day in their lives? This is the same team that said Josh Gordon wasn't going to start, and then they started him last week. And look, I don't know what the right move is with all of these moves, but I think it's fair to expect, dare I say demand, that we should get some consistency, some logical consistency, a little bit of stability, a little bit of common sense. The Cleveland Browns they're very difficult to understand what the game plan really is. Why is Duke Johnson getting the ball on 4th down? Why? He's not our power back. That's either Nick Chubb or Carlos Hyde. I don't know what to say about the kicking game, because the kicking game obviously it's its own separate universe. It's a guy that kicks, and it's a coach that works with that one group that does one thing. They have one job to do. Hi, Steve. Hi, Randy. Hi, Tim. Hi, Eric. Yeah, Mike in the chat room is saying, on the bright side, Squealers lost. Mahomes is a beast. Yes, I did draft Mahomes in one of my fantasy football leagues, thankfully. Dude is crushing it. 5 quick touchdowns from him today. So look, there is a benefit, I understand, to keeping Baker Mayfield on the sidelines. Get him really, really prepared. I understand that. And you see, Sam Darnold playing with the Jets, and you say, well, is he better than Darnold, or are the Jets better than... I don't know. Oh, Mike's reminding me Mahomes had 6. But I was saying he had 5 early touchdowns. I got 6 total. So look, I understand that there are benefits to keeping Baker Mayfield on the sidelines. But what I'm saying is, I think Tyrod Taylor's ceiling, I think we need to be stretching that defense out a little bit more. It's going to open up the running game a little more. It's going to open up a little bit of those crossing routes and the tight end curls and some of the screens. I think if we stretch those corners a little deeper by airing it out a little bit, our whole offense is going to be way more productive. You could see it was really tight. And when it came down to it, I mean, This wasn't the classic Cleveland Browns 3rd and 7 run a 4-yard play. This was Tyrod Taylor really doing everything it took to try not to lose instead of going to try to win the game. And it cost us. I think it cost us last week, and I think it cost us this week. Would I trade it to throw Baker Mayfield to the Wolves? I don't know that he's getting thrown to the Wolves. He's playing professional football. I don't see that our offensive line was horrible today. If anyone else wants to tell me our offensive line was terrible today and Baker would just be a sitting duck back there, give me some evidence. Give me some grading scores. I know that different player positions are graded out after games once they have a chance to look at them. But, Tyrod wasn't running around for his life. Why would Baker? And Baker's got really good footwork, left and right and forward and back, left, right, forward, back. He's always dancing, and he picks and chooses his throwing lanes to figure out where he's going to go to. I don't know. He's capable of playing the game. So you can look at the success of Pat Mahomes and say, well, look, there's your argument for sitting a guy for a year. Or you just play him. I just feel like better quarterback play would have gotten us 2 wins. Obviously, better kicking play would have got us this win. Better play calling would have got us this win. But that's the beauty of second-guessing and playing armchair quarterback, right? That's why we're here at the Unhappy Hour, right? That's what we do. Constant scrutinization. Incessant scrutiny of our football team, our beloved Cleveland football Browns, inventing new ways to lose football games since 1946. The Cleveland Browns snatching defeat from the jaws of victory since 1946. So the Cleveland Browns fail to break the losing streak. I guess maybe that's not the right way to say it, because we did not lose last week. I'll say the Cleveland Browns, for the 18th game in a row, failed to win a game. Ugh. Just brutal. Brutal stuff. So, anyway, look, there's some positives to take away from this. There's obviously room for growth. We got to get to the end of the Josh Gordon situation, whatever that's going to mean. Maybe that's addition by subtraction. Let's just get it figured out already, because I would have loved having Josh Gordon out there running some post patterns, running some fly routes, stretching that defense out to provide a little bit more breathing room for some of those bubble screens, for some of the dink and dunk passes, the crossing routes, some of the running game. You lose a weapon like that, and it changes your offense. So, for everybody that wants to just destroy Todd Haley, that wants to destroy Hugh Jackson, guys, this is a team that's still getting to know it. They still have their name tags on their chest. This is not a team with a lot of history. But they've been competitive in 2 straight games. So I'm just going to take that. Anyhow, I'm going to check out the rest of the happenings in the NFL today. I'm going to look over the rest of the games and see what's going on, compare and contrast some of the winners and losers. The Colts beat the Redskins, Dolphins beat the Jets. See, it didn't show me some of these scores earlier. That was weird. Tennessee beat Houston. Houston is not putting up a lot of points, 20-17. And the Bears playing the Seahawks later. Okay. Anyhow, well, look, I'm going to post this on the YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It's youtube.com/TheNewAmericanMedia, The New American Media. Click subscribe. Let the ads play. It's like tossing a few pennies in our wishing well. And I'm going to be completing Football Equals Family, the story of the Cleveland Browns' perfect season parade. It's a documentary I've been working on for a very long time. I flew back from Los Angeles, where I'm currently located, to Cleveland, Ohio, to meet with Chris McNeil and kind of shadow him and get a behind-the-scenes look of the Cleveland Browns' perfect season parade, the parody parade and protest. Last year, I had no idea how much editing work is actually involved in making a full length. We're at about an hour and a half right now. Every time I try to cut it down to 128, 127, 126, it bounces back up to 129, 131, 133. I'm trying to keep it right around an hour and a half. We'll see. Maybe I'll come in around 115, 120. But it's about an hour and a half long. And I think it's interesting. I think it's fun. I think it's going to provide a historical footnote, a historical time capsule, if you will, to that moment of our lives as Cleveland Browns fans when we literally couldn't win a game. But man, 2 weeks into this season, it's feeling like we literally can't win a game again either. And it's really distressing. It's really upsetting. It's really sad. It's emotionally taxing. So thank you for sticking around with us. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, go on Facebook and find our 2 groups. We have 2 groups. One is called Strictly Browns. Strictly Browns, powered by the Unhappy Hour Sports Show. And then the other one is called The Unhappy Hour Sports Show, a support group. These are private Facebook groups. One is for Indians, Cavs, Browns, Buckeyes, Blue Jackets, all that Ohio love, all that Ohio sports. And then the second part of it is going to be for Strictly Browns. It's strictly Cleveland Browns, and some NFL stuff that relate back to the Cleveland Browns. But, we don't want to bombard people with Indians stuff if you're really only coming for the Cleveland Browns stuff. So we've tried to splice strictly Indians, strictly Buckeyes, strictly Browns, and giving you an avenue to just hyper-focus. And I know today it's kind of new. We had a bunch of comments about, geez, you guys are going to comment on every play? I'm like, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we are. Maybe we are going to do that now. But, it's a global living room. You're watching the game, and it's like you want to, did you see that thing? That's what you do. You send off your tweet, you send off your message on the Facebook group, rather, and everybody gets to jump in and chime in. And yeah, there's some repetition, but honestly, I got to say, with Facebook's algorithms and how weird they are with what content they allow you to see versus are you subscribed, have you liked the page, do you interact with the page, how often do you interact with the page, all these things, they run different algorithms, so the things I post, you might never see. So if this other guy posts the same exact thing, maybe you will see that one, but you wouldn't have seen the other one. So I'm okay. Until I can figure out exactly how to work this system, it's all good to me. If you're a Browns fan and you want to talk Browns, especially on game day, let it rip. Keep it mostly civil. But anyhow, yeah, the groups are fantastic, growing by the day. We're hoping to get you some merchandise by the end of the year for Christmas. That is the game plan, to get you some merch by Christmas. I have a whole bunch of ideas. Just got to pick the right company, got to set the design up and launch. So anyhow, Cleveland Browns Perfect Season documentary, Football Equals Family, the story of the Cleveland Browns Perfect Season Parade, coming soon. I have my last couple of edits, and then I'm going to give it one more final watch, checking on the subtitles, checking on the transitions, checking on the timeline, playing a little bit of rerouting and play that shell game with some clips. But I'm pretty close to just hitting release and letting this video out and letting the show find you, or letting the Cleveland Browns documentary find you. I was really hoping I was going to get to release it today on the day of a win that broke this streak, but sadly that didn't happen. But I'm eager to get this project out there, so I'm gonna hurry up and I'm gonna put some more time in today and try to get that for you. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Brian Engelman signing out for the Unhappy Hour. Link up with us, follow us, participate in the never-ending saga that is Cleveland sports, especially Cleveland Browns football on days like today. Cleveland Browns lose the game by a field goal after our kicker missed 2 extra points and 2 field goals. Go Browns. Talk to you later. Peace.